Hey, good afternoon. How's everybody doing today? I feel like shit. I feel like absolute dog shit right now. That has been run over by the meanest kid on the block riding a stolen girl's bicycle. I had my second vaccination for Andromeda strain, and I'm just. Which, to be clear about something 100% clear, this happens like whether or not I get a vaccination for the regular flu or whatever. It just knocks you out because your body is creating a an immune response, and it thinks, oh, I've got the flu, I should do all these things. And so I'm not. This is not like going to be a polemic about vaccinations or anything. I just, if you do a two dose one, just understand the second one might bring you down for a couple of days. But anyway, hello Simile, how are you? Thank you for joining up. This would normally be the part where I would talk about how the game went last night. Um, I, I sat around for maybe an hour or an hour and a half during the game because we had there were a few players who had missed the previous session, um, and they needed like updates on what magic items they got, and XP, and needed to spend money to train, and so on and etc. So we did that, and then about as they were talking amongst themselves, plotting and scheming, like, okay, who should get the who should get the ring of protection, who should get the cloak, etc. I did this just to rest my head. And when somebody asked me a question, now I wasn't on camera. I generally I don't do the camera except to point at this table and for Dwarven Forge and minis and so on. So I did this just to rest my head. I was awake and listening, and when I raised my head up, I was like, "Oh man, this is uncomfortable. I just want to put my head back down." And I told everybody. I said, "Look, I'll catch y'all next week." Um, and I will, we'll play then. So there's not a bunch to report. Although I do want to touch on a few things. I'll answer any questions you guys have got. I don't know how long I'm good for today, by the way. I'm pretty beat. Uh, but I will answer questions and engage with you guys as best I can. The news last night is okay. So if you haven't been following my streams all the way along, and I know I have a slightly different audience on YouTube than I have had on Facebook, which I am currently banned from for the next 4 or 5 days. Um, I'm friends with Tracy Lesh. Tracy is one of the pioneers of Dungeons and Dragons. Um, Tracy was there back in the day. Uh, some of the classic, super rare, super hard to find items uh, contain Tracy's illustrations, original D&D, supplement 2, for example, Blackmore, is full of his art. The original Tomb of Horrors, the folio version that Gary carried around with him, not the one that was later published by TSR, but that's all Tracy's artwork. And I'll let him tell you all the wonderful stories again when we have him on Friday. But Tracy is a cancer survivor, and unfortunately, it has recurred That was that was very, very unfortunate news. He told us last night, so we're all hoping for Tracy, and I don't know if you know I don't really care what like your personal background or feelings are, whether you're spiritual or you're not. You're just 100%. Well, science will do what science will do. Um, but please keep Tracy in your thoughts. These guys that created a hobby that we all love. Um, they're they're getting on in years, and you look at the circle diagram, and it's like the big arc that goes all the way around is the one that indicates nobody gets past this. Everybody gets caught up with at some point or another. So we're gonna hope that Tracy is is well and healthy for a good long time. So please keep Tracy in your thoughts. And I am. He said he's 90% sure he's gonna come on the show on Friday. So we'll have a lot of fun with Tracy, and we'll talk art and everything else. Now let's see, what else was I gonna. Oh yeah. So if I didn't make this clear yesterday, um, when I've got, let me see what's going on here. My internet connection's been a little manky, so I apologize. But let me see. Yeah, so right now the YouTube channel is 611 subscribers, and I couldn't be happier. Um, Really, from the bottom of my heart, guys, thank you so much. To all of you individually, to Jayashiro Finney for letting me come on his live stream, because I definitely think I picked up a good portion of folks who listen to Jayashiro, but also like the voice of a guy who talks a lot about old role playing games and not much else. Um, so thank you to everyone. Thank you to Ishi and all of his folks who subscribed over here to my channel. Um, and that's a beautiful thing. It's not like back when I was a kid. It's like our entertainment was the television. Well, I mean there were other things, but if you were watching TV on ABC, that meant CBS was losing a viewer, right? For 30 minutes or an hour or 2 hours if it was a movie of the week. Now, granted, if you were one of those lucky sods who had two TVs in your house, somebody else could be tuned in. But the point remains. Um, so, the beauty of the interwebs is that you can subscribe to many channels, and I thank you all very much for subscribing to my channel. 611 viewers is fantastic. I want to get to 1,000, and the reason I want to get to 1,000 is unless between now and then uh, YouTube moves the goalposts again, I'll be able to do some fun things like create polls. My engagement will be better. It'll be just a great thing, not just because numbers go up and more people are paying attention to me, but because I can do more things. But to celebrate 1,000 subscribers to my channel, when it happens, whether it's next week, next month, this summer, next year, when it happens, I'm going to hold a virtual mini-con in celebration. I will run multiple games over the course of a day. Uh, if I can lay my hands on a copy, I'll even run a session of Tractics for anyone who likes micro armor. Um, but yeah, I'll run some classic Gamma World, some original D&D, maybe some Fight in the Skies, which is a fits World War One air combat game. So that's my goal. That's my big payback to you guys if I can hit that goal of 1,000 viewers, and I hope I can. I mean, I think I can eventually, but I'd like it to be. I mean, it could potentially happen in 2 or 3 years. I would hope it would be just a little bit sooner. So we'll see. And I'm gonna respond. Emily says, yeah, I went through cancer with my dad too. Not a fun ride. I really like having something to listen to, especially at a time that hits my time zone well. What is your time zone, Simile? You're in Finland, is it? Or have I got that completely wrong? I have friends scattered all over the globe that I would love to drag into my virtual game, but it's like Mihailo. Shout out to you, Mihailo, if you're watching. He is in Serbia, and so like this is not even remotely helpful to him time wise. And my game, I mean, my game starts at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard, which is just after the dinner hour for the bulk of my players who are out on the West Coast. A few of them are on the East Coast, but the majority of them are out on the West Coast, and so it makes the timing a little bit sus. And I got a buddy of mine, Scott. He's an expat. He's actually from my area of Florida, my region of Florida, but he lives in Vietnam now. And it'd be a stone groove having him in the game. But my game is at like 6 a.m, his local time or something like that. Or it's not a good time. Kyle and I, you have to bend in half to get our times coordinated to do Wastrel Wednesdays. But I will, I will do an all-day virtual con when I hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. And so whatever time is good for you guys, you'll probably be able to pop into a game. And like I said, I'm going to run lots of stuff. Sorry guys, I'm just not feeling great right now. What else is happening? Okay, so tomorrow, speaking of Wastrel Wednesdays, I'll be doing an evening live stream. Kyle and I will be playing Conflict. Kyle's excellent combat man-to-man combat role-playing game. That will be in the evening though. So if you're used to my streams in like the afternoon ish, then this may be a little this may be a little late for you because again, time zone issues. I can't like right now is the middle of the night for Kyle. I can't very well say, get up, Kyle, let's game. So tomorrow, I'm guessing around 7:30 Eastern Standard, which unfortunately, similarly will kind of knock you out. But you can always come and watch. It's not like these live streams are just you can't see anything later. It's just, you'll miss the chatter. You'll miss the live chat, which I wish I knew how to save the live chat and make it and make it show up on the playback. Because like when somebody watching this later hears me talking to Simile and they're like, is he having some kind of schizophrenic episode? So tomorrow, Conflict. Tomorrow night, I will be guest of Ishi and Kat. Thursday, if I can, if I can lift up a brush without breaking a sweat, Thursday will be a paint day, paint lab again. I'll be continuing to work on these lovely Grenadier miniatures, the Hirelings set, where we're still continuing to do skin tones. And then Friday, as I said, Friday, I'm pretty sure, Tracy's pretty sure, he's going to be on stream, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So if you want to hear some stories about classic D&D, or whatever Tracy's got for us, we're going to do that on Friday. Tracy's always a lot of fun. Now, I don't know if he's going to be... I don't know exactly what time, because he works from home as a customer support agent. So I don't know if he'll be able to join us in the midday or middle of the evening. In the case of Simuli there, it's 7:16 where he's at. I guess 7:20 where he's at. Or if it'll be a little later in the evening. But again, and regardless, you can always come in and you can watch the stream later. One thing I want to do next week, I want to have a little fun next week, which I get, we could do this on, well, Monday is really the only day when I don't have something specifically hammered out. But I've been thinking about this, and I think this will be a lot of fun. And you guys can tell me in the comments if you want to see this, or if you don't want to see this, like if you think this will be a fat waste of your time or whatever. Is I have this absolutely wonderful Mattel Electronics Dungeons and Dragons Computer Labyrinth game. It works. I have all the pieces. I made some replacement pieces for all the minis that come with it, the dragon, the treasure, and the two warriors. I have. There were a few missing wall pieces, and you better believe that there is that there are 3D files for it, STL files. So I printed those up, and a couple of the missing counters. But I think Monday, setting this up and playing a solo game, but you guys will decide what direction the warrior will move in. We'll go like north, south, east, west, because it's on a grid. And we'll play a game or two or three, because this thing can end really quickly if the dragon wakes up soon and comes and finds your ass. So Monday, if we can get this guy fired up, we'll do that. We'll play some Dungeons and Dragons electronic Dungeons and Dragons Computer Labyrinth game. And I've said before, and I'll say it again, I have come to the conclusion that the Computer Labyrinth game, it is a computer. It is a computer by any stretch of the imagination, and I'm going to tell you why. It has a random event generator. It has memory. It can store the location of all the walls in the memory, and that changes periodically. It has a bit of artificial intelligence built into it. Insofar as the dragon is concerned, it can home in on your on your mini, or on another player's mini. It can make a decision about which, like if you're doing the 2-player game, the game can make a decision about which character it wants to attack. It stores the location of the treasure that you have to find, and it keeps track of the doors. It has 2 modes of operation, an advanced and a normal game. It keeps track of how many movement points each character has, and it calculates whether or not a character's move is well, player's move really, whether a player's move is valid or not. So by all definitions, it really is a computer in there. What kind of computer, what sort of logic it uses to manage its game, I don't know. I'm halfway tempted to buy a broken one just to take it apart and see, because I'm not disassembling this. This is staying put together. I'm not, there ain't no forced science happening with this bad boy. Yeah, so when I was kind of having a mental discussion with myself, like, is it really a computer? Yeah, it's really a computer. Stores data, retrieves data, does XOR functions. So yes, it is in fact a computer, and I would dare say that it is at least as much of a computer as the Dark Tower game that Milton Bradley put out, which I would, man, if I stumbled on one of those, oh boy, those were awesome. I mean, if if this is Dungeons and Dragons, then Dark Tower is like Rollmaster, And now, if you're not familiar with, if you're younger than me, Dark Tower was an electronic fantasy strategy board game that had some elements of role play in it, and it had this tall plastic monolithic tower, and that the computer inside there was basically your dungeon master. It would keep track of every player's resources and every player's actions and so on. And what you were doing is you were questing to find a way to get into the Dark Tower, confront the evil sorcerer, and save the kingdom. But as each player moved, like a player might go to the bazaar to hire adventurers, and then later go to a dungeon and explore, and it would keep track, player to player, of what was going on and what they were doing. A player might get lost in the swamps and lose a number of troops, or they might find treasure in a dungeon, which they could then use to buy more equipment and so on and etc. And then after they'd explored, they could go into the tower and try and win the game. It was really, really incredibly clever. And the idea was apparently thought of by a couple of inventors who took it to Milton Bradley. Milton Bradley said, no thanks, but published it anyway, and they sued and won. So Dark Tower existed for like a year before it was taken off the market. Very, very well thought of game, and very hard to find, extremely rare. I think they remastered Dark Tower on a Kickstarter. I heard about that. I heard about that remaster, but I don't, you know what? Let's look that up real quick. I don't know how much energy I got left, guys, but we're gonna Tower Kickstarter. There's a small cottage industry of people who will repair or sell parts to repair your Dark Tower electronic bad boy. So let's see, Return to Dark Tower. This is back January of 2020, so this is about a year and a half old. Let's see. Yeah. It looks like it's it looks like it's back. Return to Dark Tower. gameplay highlights. You got miniatures, all that stuff. There's an app version you can get. Our innovative combat system leverages the power of the processor. Within the app, select virtual cards from each foe's unique deck, revealing the potential consequences of the fight. And you can get it. I don't know anything about it. I'm not. If you guys want to go find this out, pre-orders are disabled. Oh my. So no, you can't pre-order it currently. What is going on with this? Estimated delivery, February 2021. So yeah, apparently there's app stuff. Miniatures, 28mm miniatures. Your heroes, foes, and tokens. But the tell with Kickstarters is always to go down and to look at the comments. And let's look at the comments of this. Now, I'm not saying either way. Let's see. Oh, okay, so somebody's saying, after several playthroughs, that tower is diabolical. There's a subtle strategy showing. Were you playing it? Okay, so someone is playtesting it. So, and apparently this is an app. Like, okay, so what you're getting with this is there's the big plastic tower, there's all the minis and counters and everything, but it's an app you run on your phone. It's not a dedicated computer, which is a bit of a disappointment, but at the same time I can kind of understand it cuz, brewing up discrete logic just to do that might be a bit of an ask. So, I mean, if you're gonna do that, let me see here. If you're gonna do that, come on, open up. Google. I'm not going to send you guys to a particular place, but Google Dark Tower Flash game, which I know Flash has been deprecated, but if you have a copy on your machine, you can play it locally. You can download the source and play it locally, and hopefully Adobe won't throw up a bunch of warnings at you. But it's the original reprogrammed in Flash, and all the logic is on the thing. So you can play Dark Tower now. You don't have to go spend. Let's look on eBay here. Let's see if there's even one available. I mean, I remember a time when you could pick them up on eBay in various states of completion for $60. And then I went and looked at another time and there were none. There were parts available for $60, like battery covers and boards and individual chunks, playing pieces. Power board game. All right. Yeah, here's one. If you look on eBay, it's Dark Tower Repair Service. If you want to get your Dark Tower game fixed, here's one. Tower not working correctly, $255. one that says it's 99.9% complete, $369. Incomplete, $388. And if we go and we look at sold items, yeah, there's a box only, just the box, no game, box only, $240. So if you want to play some Dark Tower, you best get ready, because it's going to cost you. Yeah, boxes, just boxes for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And yet here is a one, $265 for a fairly complete game. So I guess a lot of people want that Dark Tower itch scratched, and I understand, man. That is a fascinating game. You know, I've played the Flash version. We never got it. It was pretty expensive. Like electronic games like that back in the day, like it's about contemporary with the D&D game here, which I don't know. It's about contemporary with the D&D game. This in '82 was $29.99, and looking, let me see. So $29.99 for that particular game, or was it $49.99? We'll go with we'll stick with $29.99. And let's see. So if in 1982, enter amount $29.99, and today, yeah, $82. That's the equivalent of dropping $82 for the D&D game, the D&D Electronic Labyrinth game. So I would surmise that Dark Tower probably, whatever it went for, it would have been, like, let's say it was $49.99, and I think you can see, and we calculate, yeah, that's $137. If Dark Tower was that inexpensive, that's $137 for a board game, the equivalent of $137. And that's at a time when, like, I think the average household wage was like around $20,000 a year, something like that, here in the U.S. So pretty expensive stuff. Yeah, $249. That's pretty steep. Now, back last fall, I bought into the Hero Quest remaster, which Hero Quest is not an electronic game at all. It's a game that Milton Bradley and Games Workshop put out, and it is a D&D-ish kind of board game kind of thing, and I was flush with cash, so I was just like, gimme. That was the first pre-order thing that I bought into, and I want to be very careful when I say pre-order thing, because it was not crowdfunded. The company that is it Wizards or was it Hasbro? I think it was Hasbro, but anyway, they pretended to do a crowdfunding thing. Basically, they were taking pre-orders. There's no, it's a multi-million-dollar company. They were taking pre-orders, but they did have levels of pre-order that you could unlock. And I just went ahead and just did the buy-ins. So that'll hopefully deliver this coming fall. But again, it's Hasbro. I wouldn't think that Hasbro would be like one of those companies that offers to create the greatest thing since sliced bread and then just completely flakes, and they take your money and are like, sorry, haha. So I spent a pretty penny on it, but I'm just doing something nice for myself. Oh my goodness. So when that comes, we're going to have just a massive unboxing of it. And maybe if I do it the right time of day, I can get old Bardic broadcasts on and have a cracking unboxing. Now, if you don't know who I'm talking about, you need to look on YouTube, not right now, not in the middle of my stream, but you need to look on YouTube and go check out Bardic Broadcasts, Why Hero Quest is So Great. Jesus Christ, that is the best video ever. This guy loves Hero Quest, and his love for Hero Quest, his aggressive, deep, burning, passionate love for Hero Quest pours out of every nanosecond of that video, and it is hilarious. You should absolutely go see it. So please do that. Now, with all that said, I am running out of batteries, guys. I mean, my lights and my camera are fine, but Bill, I just, I need to eat something and go lie down. So thank you all for coming and hanging out today. Please keep Tracy in your thoughts. I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully by tomorrow evening, I'll be on the rebound. I either, like, if I get sick, it's either like a 24-hour thing or I'm just like wiped out for 2 weeks. And hopefully this is the former, not the latter. But we'll see. We'll definitely see. So y'all be good to each other. Stay safe. And I'll talk to you tomorrow in the evening when Kyle and I play Conflict. And then I'll be over on Ishii's live stream. So peace, everyone. I love you all. And I will catch you later.